Yeah.
How's that going? Have you checked in on that?
Oh no, she gave that thing away within like 4 months or so.
Okay, gotcha. I was
Yeah, she
wondering if
can't
that
handle dogs. No, she can't handle
it's too much. Between
Yeah, it
all the
is.
textbooks and shirts and insurance, the
Mm-hmm.
dog was too much. Yeah, that was a very sweet moment though. Was just kind of seeing her come back to me like, I
Mm-hmm.
found a dog, everybody.
Yeah, I
It was like,
know. It
okay,
was a cute dog. It was a
you
very
have a
cute dog.
dog now. Um, all right, Chase and I are doing dog talk. We're wrapping up dogs. Whenever my dog wakes up, I'll show you Chase. My new
Hell yeah.
dog.
Will he be on the
Um,
podcast from now on? Is he going to be a staple?
fuck no. He
Dude,
is
just put a camera pointed down at him. I mean, it's just going to be Yamacam.
just Yamakam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's he's currently in the like aggressive exploration biting phase, so he's just
Oh,
presumably
nice.
just like testing out every texture to see, can my teeth penetrate this.
Yep.
So like
Yep.
literally everything in my house he's going through pretty systematically actually, which is interesting to kind of see.
Yeah.
um and then he's just going through and munching everything. But yeah, everybody, hey Johnny G, how's it going, dude? I think we have a video from you, John. Yeah, I got to check in on that. We got a few. We may, but everybody, welcome to the weekly Mark Ripito fan club meeting. I'm here with Chase Lindley. How's it going, Chase?
What's up, guys? I am doing well right now. Fuck, man, nothing really's been happening that's
You had a
different.
birthday, right?
Yeah, I did. It was just a normal day for me. I
Normal
mean,
day.
I think once you get past 21, there's nothing really else to celebrate. Like we had this talk in our gym with our
Mm-hmm.
clientele. They're like, yeah, you have landmark birthdays, like 30, 40, and like 50, but after that, it's just like, fuck,
You don't
don't
want to
remind
think
me it's
about
my
it.
birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been noticing now. I'm going to be turning 29 soon. That like I'll meet people who I will think will be a contemporary age to me. I'll be like, oh, they have like a similar skin complexion and like attitude to me, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm only like 23. I'm 24. I just got out of college, and I'll be like, fuck, you guys are such babies.
Yeah.
How's it going, G Lock? G Lock, dog update. My dog is alive, barely, but he's fine now. Um, what else were we going to talk about? Yeah, so Chase had a birthday. Things are going well at
Mhm.
the gym. I saw a picture of a girl benching like what was it, 140 or 138
Uh,
recently.
who was it?
Blonde
Was it?
girl.
Oh, that's our resident strong woman, Danae. She's fucking strong as fuck,
That's
man.
pretty
Just
sick.
kind of just a genetic freak that just plopped into the gym with her husband, and it's just like, yeah, this is awesome.
Finally got the yes, yeah. How was Grant's Lifting class. That's good.
Oh, nice.
Was that squat bench deadlift, or did you guys just what did you guys do? Was that like a private or was that a seminar? Because I know he kind of runs camps out there all the time. Um, yeah, I have one girl lifter who's like exceedingly strong. Her deadlifts in the mid twos,
Mm,
squats in the mid twos as well. She responds really well to volume work, but she just sent me like a picture of like her. She hasn't done bicep work in a very long time. She had a wedding coming up. Her arms, she was getting too jacked for her dress. We haven't touched bicep work in like 4 months. She's
mm,
getting bicep hypertrophy just from. I'm having her do goblet squats and some workouts for some more conditioning.
mm.
She's getting bicep hypertrophy from goblet squats and deadlifts.
That's so fucking cool.
It's really funny. I'm like, man, genetically, I envy you. I
Yeah.
envy you so much. Um, but okay, what are we going to do here today? We have a bunch of interesting questions and videos. One guy did an interesting video compilation on the Starting Strength subreddit. He put all of his PRs together from 3 months of starting strength into a 33-minute video. We're not going to watch all
Jesus
33
Christ.
minutes. But it is pretty cool to kind of see kind of physique changes, lift changes, form changes. So we'll go through
Hmm.
that. A bunch of people had a bunch of questions. It was a camp with a few others. Squat, press, deadlifts. No bench. Come on. All right. While we're looking at this, I want to see what video John sent in. I'll share the screen in a second here, folks.
So is there a bunch in the queue today?
We have like 6 or 7. Yeah,
Gotcha.
6 or 7. This could be an older video. I'm not sure. I think this one was one of the recent ones. So let me know, John.
Dude, his calf veins are so sick.
It's weird. Oh, look at that. Look at how deep that was. John, all you do is just send us singles. Are you going for another one? I did not expect another rep here.
Jeez, man, he's just taking
All right.
forever.
He got a calf pump from that one rep. He needs to take some time. Okay, this was recent with lifting shoes, said John Gloria. Hot damn, buddy. That's a hard double.
Fuck.
That is a very hard double.
That is.
John, I thought this was a video of you and your wife because it says John. I'm doxing you, but it says John Kathy Gloria on the file name. I think that may just be your middle name. If it is, that's pretty cool. G Lock, he's in a TJ Maxx parking lot while my wife shops. If that helps, that's very
That's
helpful.
commitment.
That's
That's commitment.
very helpful. Yeah, I get a lot of kitchen knickknacks from TJ Maxx. Yes, if Anastasia ever needs to go there for the urge of shopping, it's always I go straight to the kitchen section. Chase, you go to TJ Maxx?
No, man. What's the other one that's
There's like 8 of them that
it's
are the same
Marshalls or
thing.
some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate going to shit like that because I just hate shopping. But now as I'm kind of getting older and more adultish,
More refined.
yeah, exactly. Now it's kind of like it's interesting because it's like, oh, cool. Like there's this lamp that I don't need, but it looks nice.
Nice. Oh, getting the apartment together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So what do we think about John's squats outside of his this is a very hard double.
hmm
His calves are very tumescent. They're pulsating. They're shredded. What do we think about the actual squats themselves, Chase?
Man, John, he were just speeding up the descent a lot to where coming up out of the bottom is just kind of throwing you off here. So like there, he's just kind of crashing down. He's getting a
Just
bounce off his
loose.
knees. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's trying to save it with his chest. And as we all know, that chest drive does not work, right? So, John, you need to think of like a tempo here, maybe like 2 to 3 seconds on the way down. So that way you have one, time to control yourself into the bottom, you get a bounce, and then two, it's prep work essentially for coming back up. And what I mean by the prep work is you have time to think about the hips, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the way that we cue this is like if you were in person, it's 2 seconds on the way down, John, and then right before you hit hips, right there. So now you have something to think about as you're transitioning up.
Yeah, this is a good example of what kind of leading with the chest is for everybody. So
Mhm.
I'm going to try and pause it when he stops moving his hips. Boop, right there. So rather than just knee extension, constant back angle, so basically it would kind of look like his torso's on an elevator and it's just going straight up. What's going to happen is his knees are kind of say at a roughly samey angle. By the way, you seen this striation here, Chase? You seen
Dude,
this?
he's an anatomy
What
textbook. It's a
what is going
walking
on,
anatomy
John?
textbook.
What is going on? It's going to look like his back is folding up this way. Okay, so like if his head is where my hand is, it's going to look like it's going like this. Yep. So you see how he's almost pulling it back, basically. It looks like he's pulling it back with his chest. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about leading with the chest. We want to lead with the hips. It basically just kind of looks like his tailbone is going straight to the ceiling, and then his torso will straighten up almost just by happenstance. And then 20 seconds, he's letting the leg pump go away. Yeah, Johnny G, I would give you some higher reps, dude. These look so stressful with your kind of history of
Oh
tears.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting work, John. We have a few more to go through here. Who is this?
So
There's some guy
John,
named.
real quick,
Okay,
John,
sorry.
did you do a top double and then like some back off work, or was it just like
Look at this. He said,
ascending?
"I work my way up to triples and then add weight after that." The madman,
Fuck, dude.
the absolute mad lad. All right, this guy's name is Kenoshug, Kenoshag, or Keno Shag. All right, Chase, what's going on here?
I don't know, dude. I'm not even looking at them. I'm looking
Is
at
this
all the scenery
firefighter
and shit.
helmets? Is this just firefighting stuff,
It
right?
looks like it, or like mining equipment, like a miner's helmet.
It could be mining, but we also have pogo sticks here. We have 2, which means that he and
Dude,
his
this is
significant other
very
may be
interesting.
pogoing together.
I think he's a diamond miner in like the Yukon of Alaska, or like a gold miner.
Okay, and the only way to get around on the ice
This
is
is
pogo
pogos.
sticks. I can't tell
Yep.
if these are firefighting helmets or if these are.
I don't know.
I don't know what this is. All right, Keno Shag. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of these go. No safeties. He's raw dogging his squats here, everybody.
Mm.
I
He's
wish you
getting
could hear this. This is such an interesting wheezing sound that this man is making. I
on
cannot. I will not be able to replicate it.
on the
I'm
way
sorry.
up. Is this like a dog toy?
Oh, this.
I'm not
It's
hearing
what?
shit.
Do you remember? Do you remember the? There's a few scenes in the Austin Powers movies where Fat Bastard is farting, and it's like this whining sound of just his voice.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I can describe what this sounds like. G-Lock, is it ever appropriate to walk up and fix resolutioners in the gym? I think it's appropriate to kind of go no headphones and just kind of talk to people. I shoot shit with people at the gym all the time. Shoot the shit and then be like, hey, if you need some help, let me know. And then, you pull your shorts up and you flex your quads at them. Do a little quad sweep left to
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to where you're not just being like that one weird, creepy dude in the gym who's giving unsolicited advice. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I usually, with my go-to is just like I'm just usually stronger than everyone, and I just fucking lift a bunch, and then if someone asks me like, "Hey, what are you doing, bro?" At that point, it's like you need to follow the program.
Bro, what are you doing?
Hmm.
You're too strong. Calm down. So Keno Shag or Kenoshig over here, he needs to drop down another 3 inches? You think, Chase?
Oh, easily.
Okay. So he needs another 3, maybe 4 inches. How would you recommend getting in there? He has the
Oh,
sleeves on. He has the shoes. The grip is looking good. He's got the belt.
I'd like to see his stance a little bit narrower.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, like yeah, this is on our right angle, but to me, this looks like he's having a little bit too wide of a stance here. So that's gonna give him that artificial depth from his abductors kind of hitting his extensibility a little bit too early. So
Yeah.
narrow it like I don't know, let's say 2 inches, and then from there, just keep reaching down. Try to make your ass go below your knees every single rep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes whenever the stance is too wide, it'll feel like that kind of inner thigh group. Um, that's what's making, let's say, it's getting to terminal stretch, and you're like, I can't sit down anymore from here.
Hmm.
You can if you go really slow, and then the tempo will go like normal, normal, slow, slow, and you'll get another 3 inches by going very slowly. But you won't be able to do it at a consistent speed. So more narrow, more knees, I would say for sure. Anything
Hmm.
else you want to touch up on this? I think these are pretty good. Otherwise,
Um, I can't really see from this far, but how's his bar positioning? If anything, I may kind of clean that up. Just clean up his grip a little bit. Try to bring it in a little bit. Try to make it a little bit more um, tight up top. But I think
yeah, he's starting his squat by kind of leaning over a little bit because he's thinking lean over means like a little bit of chest
yeah,
collapse. So that's kind of an eventual problem. Work on keeping the chest up, but like the kind of the wrists bar position is pretty textbook. I think he's just
okay,
leaning over.
yeah.
Teo's in the chat.
The big thing here is just the depth. Just fixing that.
Yeah, that's priorities number 1 through 3. Kenoshig,
Mhm.
Kenoshag. Uh, I mentioned they could fix something if it's dangerous, like a tiny girl barely racking squats on her toes, J hooks that are too high. Johnny G. I never realized how jacked my legs are until I pointed it out here. Yeah, so you have incredibly lean legs. So if you're like if you're a power walker, a cyclist, something like that, you're just using a lot of local energy resources there.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, your skin is like the thinnest fucking thing
That
possible.
is
It's like
so
tissue
whenever I
paper.
tell people about getting lean, I'm like, it's gonna look like you have dick skin all over your body.
Yeah,
That's Johnny
that's
G's
Johnny
legs.
G. Yeah.
That's Johnny G's legs. Um, yeah, if it's something dangerous, yes, for sure. I think sometimes I don't know. Would you ever give a girl unsolicited advice in the gym, Chase?
Mm, I
What
don't
would
know.
it have? What threshold would you have to pass for have
So
that
like
happen?
here's like the scenario that's playing out in my mind is like one, how does the girl like what does she put off? Does she put off like the cunt vibe? Does she put off like the I'm the bitch vibe? If that's her vibe there, nah, man, just you do you.
You're like,
But
listen,
if
if you
she's
die, you die.
yeah, exactly. If she's just genuinely just like wanting to get stronger, she just seems like a nice girl. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, I think your J hooks are a little bit too high. I just put them down a little bit.
By the way, when people send me videos of these squats, I hate them so much. It's so non-informative, and it's giving me a good representation of how deep your ass cheeks are. That's the only novel information I really get from this angle. Uh,
And it's
yeah,
always dudes too. It's never like chicks.
they have the self-awareness to do that. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. To be like, all right, I'm going to go for an offset angle here. So he's in the basement. He has the Greetings, fellow lifting enjoyers. Barbell enthusiast. How's it going, Nick? How you doing, dude? Nick just pulled something in his rib recently. I think he popped a rib.
Fuck.
I know. He's one of the people who do sports. Deep ass cheeks? Yes. These are the things that we learn as coaches. That's
Mhm.
who has dog butt or Hank Hill ass is generally what it's called. For somebody's packing some heat. So this is Mazerg off to BJJ. Good luck at BJJ. Don't fuck your ribs up, dude. What is this? Bo Music, how dare you assume Z's gender? Oh, that's another thing, Chase. One that was very interesting. So I went to the vet that we went at for my dog. Everybody got a dog, medical emergency with a dog. It's in the
Yeah.
one of the most expensive zip codes in DC. On the door, there's a Black Lives Matters sticker, and then there's another one that's a rainbow, and then there's one above it. They're in the triangle, Holy Trinity style, that is a paw print. It's like a dog paw print, basically,
Mhm.
in a circle that's also a pride flag. Very interesting.
Dude,
Very
that's
interesting.
very. So did they ask for your dog's gender whenever you walked in? They're
That's
like,
the next thing. That is the next thing. So on the kind of intake form, it asked for my information, and I was like, my name is Alex, last name
yeah,
Kosari, and then it said like gender, and I was like, I'm not going to fill that out. And then it's like
yeah.
next page, and it's like dog, and then it says sex and gender for the dog, and I was like,
Oh
hell
my
yeah,
god.
we're in DC, baby.
Yeah. My dog is actually identifies as a fish, so if you could help him.
Yes, I was like, my dog, he has a penis, but I don't know how he feels about it. I don't. It's like he also is dying. So if you could help him before dealing with this information, that would be nice.
Exactly.
So we got Mazerg here. Have you learned anything about Mazerg's butt or squats here, Chase?
Not really about his butt, but so right now, like his hit staggered, right? But the other thing that's glaring out at me, like even though this is a terrible camera angle, it's his depth. So
Mm-hmm.
his stance is this kind of, I think, attributing to his depth issue, kind of like how the other guy was, the Kino guy. So if we bring back his right foot a little bit, kind of narrow the stance some, he's he's gonna hang onto his knees, making him force him out. He's gonna be able to hit his depth a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So stance is asymmetrical. Yes, indeed,
Exactly.
Bo. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So what often happens, and then the best article about this is the Active Hip 2.0. I'm not sure which one it's called, but basically, we have to shove the knees out. It's similar to like clearing the shoulder in the press with the shrug,
Hmm.
any of the overhead lifts. But what can happen is like if the knees are collapsing, if they collapse on the way down, it's a little bit worse than if they collapse on the way up. If they collapse on the way down, your stomach will run into your thighs. It'll give people a false depth perception.
Hmm.
Um, so like it seems like his landmarks are like okay, he's clearly watched the videos, he's attempting the form, but he needs to squat. How much deeper do you think, Chase? How many inches deeper
Oh,
on
like
his
at
worst
least
rep?
4 or
Like,
so.
yeah, I'll try to pause it on this next one. I think the last one may have been his worst, second to last.
It just kind of gets gradually a little bit higher. Like
Yeah,
there, yeah, that's
yeah.
like 4 inches
Hmm.
at
Yeah,
least.
so fix the stance, heels in, knees out more. I think these are probably too heavy for him to figure out. I would rebuild these from kind of bottom up. I would
Hmm.
say go a lot lighter, start with some pause squats, figure out where depth is, then rebuild from
I
there.
wonder the reason why he filmed this from behind, if
So we could
you know,
see the stance for
maybe,
the
or
butt.
if he has been feeling like the shift or his knees, like
Yes,
I think it may be from the knees, but
that could be it.
it's kind of curious here.
I don't even think the mirror is impacting it too much. I mean, like,
No,
I don't think it should be there, but that's probably not your problem either. Bo, have you sent in any videos? Also, Chase, do you type these?
no, I don't know how to
Sort of
type
nasty
those.
things. I can get everything, but not the middle character, not the middle guy. Everything else, I feel like pretty
Not
safe.
the like the smile, the eyes and the smile.
Yeah, you see the eyes. I think that's a kanji. That's like a side slash with two
No, so it's
dashes.
just I thought it's just a quote and then or is that like another. I'm trying to look
Yeah,
on
but
my
it's a
keyboard and there's
it's.
nothing I can make that.
If anyone knows how to type this, please let us know. Outside of copying and pasting, we're two tech illiterate boomers. Chase, how old are
Again,
you?
yeah, I don't know. 25 now.
You're 25. God, you're
Hmm.
so old, Chase.
I'm old as
You're a
dirt.
quarter of the way to death.
I'm
Nice.
fucking
Who's your
old.
coach, man? Who's your coach, Bo? Very curious. How are your lifts going? Um, yeah. So Mazer have a decent bit of issues, but I think they're all very fixable. Nothing too crazy there. We have what 1, 2, 3 more to go through. Then we can go for some of the Reddit stuff
The
that has been
PR
sent.
guy. I'm really excited to see this PR guy's video.
Yeah, PR guy is pretty interesting. So this is T Clopes. Again, if your last name is Clopes, that's a pretty interesting name. Very cool shoes. I could never imagine purchasing these for myself. Chase would probably purchase these.
No, not at all, man.
You don't think so, Chase?
If it's not one solid color, I don't really rock them.
What are you doing? Are you doing just black Vans? Or are you doing big white K-Swiss
No,
kind of
so
Chinese
I've
dad
been on it.
shoes?
No, so like I walk bad on the outside of my feet, real bad, because
Mm-hmm.
it's probably just from me being bred in a gym about shoving out my knees and feeling all the weight on on the
You're like,
outside
I
of my
need
feet.
more external rotation.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah.
But if I wear like New Balances or
Mm-hmm.
Nikes, I will literally roll the sole underneath, so it looks like I'm about to burst out of my shoe. So I switched to Reebok Nanos here recently because I was looking up like what's the flattest shoe besides like Converses and shit like that. So the Nanos, man, I like them. I just buy one pair of shoes and I just wear them constantly. Like I can wear them to a funeral, I can wear them to like on a very night out. I don't care. I'm a one shoe type of guy, and these have lasted me a long time.
Nice. Okay. One shoe. What happens if you need a funeral or a wedding?
Dude, don't. Phoebe will fucking yell at me about like why are you wearing your Nanos to our date night? It's like, well, I don't
Your
have any other
nanos.
shoes. Yeah.
You're like, listen, babe, I'm an athlete. Okay.
What if I need to jump on someone's table, and kick something?
Like, what if I need a box jump?
Exactly.
Um, all right. Well, how would we help T Clopes with his squats here? Now that we've discussed his footwear, almost kind of similar problem set to Mazer, but kind of different issues here.
Hmm.
So let's get back to where his stance is set up. So stance is definitely too narrow. And then if everyone can just kind of pay attention to his feet, this is a really good case for the squat shoes that we talk about. You can actively see his foot rolling kind of forward and backwards, not only in the shoe, but the shoe against the floor. Right, so
Hmm.
that's why we have this strap on top. They can kind of get way more secure than a normal shoe can. Um, so definitely a case for lifting shoes here. We want to widen the stance out. The bar position is fine. Shove the knees out. I think most of this would be fixed by widening the stance out, figuring out a pause squat. He
I
has a
agree.
longer torso, shorter femurs, so he'll be pretty vertical no matter what. Anything else you want to add?
No, man, like this looks like a pretty good start to your squat. It's just do everything that you possibly can to maximize success with shoes. Like your equipment looks good and all that shit. It's just
Mm-hmm.
make sure you kind of look at the stance and kind of go from the ground and up, right? In the sense of how we build the stance,
Yeah.
making sure that you're hitting depth, all that stuff. So everything else looks good.
Do you know what flag this is, Chase? Is that a college flag? Yeah,
Is
that's
that
no.
Baylor?
This. I don't know. Let's look up Baylor.
Yeah, because
Baylor
that's green and
University flag.
is that a beak? I can't see it in this small
I
ass
didn't
screen.
spell Baylor right, but it is the Baylor flag. Good job,
Good.
Chase. I typed it like bail in a jail. Baylor.
No, it's Bayloor.
BAY. He has a
Hey, so
TRX
this
set up here too. That's pretty
yeah, this
sick.
guy may be in Waco, Texas, everyone. So let's find his address.
Is Waco? Is Baylor Waco?
Yeah.
Baylor, Waco, Texas. I'm learning so many things from this show. The Bears.
Hmm.
All right, back to the important thing. He has a TRX. Have you ever fucked around with TRX before, Chase? I feel like I know the answer. Have you ever even held the TRX handles?
Maybe one time. So whenever I had 1 year of college, they had a TRX strap in the little like wellness center that all the students kind of lift at. I wanted to fuck around on it one time because they had
Mm-hmm.
like it looks like a jungle gym. Like they
It
had
does.
it connected to like fucking monkey bars or some shit
A
like that.
big
I was
kind of
like, oh, this,
monster rack with a
yeah, it's cool as
yeah.
fuck. Like I want to go play on it. My inner 8-year-old wanted to. So like I was just fucking around on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the handles surprising. I thought the handles would be kind of really firm, have a little bit of knurling to them.
Yeah.
Resisted rotation. They just feel like shit.
Yep.
It's like durable. It's basically someone has made. I bet you the guy who has made the TRX system, he has to be worth many millions of dollars.
Hmm. Easily.
His shit is in so many gyms, and it's just like towing straps with a fucking handle on it.
That's the easiest fucking
It's
invention ever.
crazy. All right, let's look up who invented. TRX straps. Randy Hetrick. Is he a special forces guy? Oh, he was a Navy SEAL. Chase, he's
Oh
going to kill us
man.
now. Oh no, Randy Hetrick. He's going to seal us to death. Fuck. All right, we got to stop shit talking Randy. Do you remember Leo, right? Leo,
Yep.
one of our streams before Christmas, or maybe it was right after Christmas. He sent in some squats. He sent in some follow-ups that were much better. These are the follow-ups. He has a biography, Chase, if you want to read the biography.
Leo or the Navy SEAL dude?
Of course, the Navy SEAL, not Leo.
Oh. Did he like win a prestigious award and like was like, as I was recovering from being shot 7,000 times, I invented the TRX straps.
He actually killed Osama bin Laden with the TRX straps, is what it was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Randy Hetrick net worth. Ooh, what's your guess, Chase? What's your guess? Price is Right style net worth.
Okay, 3.5 million.
50.
Jesus Christ, I was off. 50 million?
Yeah.
What else does he do? Does he give like fucking inspirational talks and stuff?
No,
he's working out.
TRX. I don't know what to tell you.
Damn, dude, I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, Chase, you got to start putting straps on stuff and then start figuring out a way to sell this shit.
I guess so.
God damn, Randy Hetrick, way to go! Every Navy SEAL has to write a book. Oh, Ben Bushman, congrats, dude! You got a video? Curious, send that shit nice. In. Every Navy SEAL has to write a book. I've met a lot of SEALs. A lot of them do judo in Virginia Beach. I've met them a lot in grappling circumstances. They're all super chill. They're all super chill dudes.
Yeah, I think it's just you have those dickheads who are just like, man, I was in the SEALs, like my shit does not stink. And then you have people who actually have a personality and they just, went into the SF sector of life, and it's like they don't brag about it, and the people who don't brag about it usually are the people who've seen some shit.
Mm-hmm. But hey, even right now in Leo Saad's country of Brazil, there's TRX right next to Leo.
Damn, dude, there
it's everywhere. In 100% of our videos, there's been TRX straps. No wonder Randy has made $50 million. So these squats are certainly better than before, right, Chase? Because before they were a little bit high on the toes. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now we're working depth, a little bit below depth, so that's good. What would you change here if you had to change anything, Chase?
Now we're gonna have to look at the back angle. I think maybe the bar may be a little bit too high. I'd try to put it down just a little bit lower. But the big thing here is that he needs to lean over a little bit more. So to help him avoid drifting forward and even having that sensation of being on his toes, his tailbone needs to point back directly back to the wall behind him. A good way to kind of think about this, Leo, too, is like if we were to put like a pencil or like a finger in between like where your hip crease is, you're going to pinch that and you're going to hold it trapped as you go down.
I thought you were going to say something about his butt there.
No.
You're like, imagine if you put a pencil or a finger in your asshole. No. It would be pointed in a direction.
No. So, I mean, we see this a lot at the seminars is like we physically have to bend people over and make them get into the proper position. Now, to help do that is to kind of, I've done this on myself and a few other people is like, I'll put my finger in between where my hips are. Like right where like your belt is or like your waistband. And then as I squat, I notice that I can pinch and trap my finger, not only on the way down, but on the way back up. And usually that kind of helps satisfy where my back angle needs to be.
Yeah, I think some people may be a little bit too worried about back extension as well. If they're thinking like they really don't want to round or they're trying to keep their back as tied up as they can, that can lead to staying a little bit too vertical. Even if they're thinking lean over, but it's just too much extension, kind of the same thing could happen. Anything else? Do you think a stance is a little bit too narrow? Would you widen that out? Would you change that?
No, I don't. It doesn't really seem like an issue to me.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Non-issue right now. Leo coming in from the smart box, very purpley smart box. We've been seeing him for years. He's always had, just for reference, everybody who's watching, we've seen Leo Saad probably for well over a year now. Right, Chase? You think?
Oh yeah.
Easy. And he has. Have we ever seen him squat like a significantly push? It seems like he just kind of fluctuates up and down in weight, right?
Well, because we're always yelling at him to fucking change something. I mean, it's not really his fault, so it's
he gets
like,
one form. Yeah, he gets one form check every 4
just
weeks, and
fuck it,
we're
let's
like,
start
"Come on,
over.
Leo,
Yeah,
come on." Yeah. Oh, for a while he was sending us deadlifts. He didn't have full size plates.
yeah,
The entire time Leo's been sending in videos, which has been for quite some time now. I have never seen a full 45-pound or 25-kilo plate ever.
yeah. I haven't either.
I've only seen these tiny plates, so hopefully our boy's doing okay. All right, that was that one. T-Clopes. We got MJDCs coming at us again with a deadlift, Chase.
So he failed several attempts at 405, right?
Yes, and I think
Fuck
instead
yeah,
of
just redemption.
changing his programming, he is just going for it
Goddamn
again.
right. That's what you do. Fuck it.
Uh, all right. Somebody in the back is being a leg press champion right now. I'm going to try to pause it so you can see the Chase. You see all those plates? You see the girth of this leg press?
Oh yeah, I was looking at the dude in the left hand side on the elliptical, just getting
That
it.
guy
Yeah, he
with the
was
dump truck?
very. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, MJ. Let's see how this goes. Very patient setup.
Hmm.
Oh, easy peasy.
Nice.
That's a triple right there, MJ.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. That was, I think, the first technically like clean, good deadlift that we've seen from MJ over this
Hmm.
course of 8 years. Let's look at this again. Because normally, MJ, you kind of float onto your heels. So let's see if that happens again this time.
Hmm.
Nope. A little bit of float off the legs, but nothing egregious. Anything you want to nitpick here, Chase?
I mean, this looks pretty good. I think it was just a matter of you being recovered, and just kind of one being hard headed enough to follow this up and actually get a single at it. But those failed
Mm-hmm.
attempts probably allowed you to recover, and man, you got it.
Yeah.
So going forward, it's going to be programming.
Yeah, this is 100% a programming thing for you. Because I remember one thing I was telling him, I was like, just take between like 335 to 355 out and just do a fuck ton of triples,
Yeah.
Just go down a little bit so you can just really get the movement down rather than pushing for zero. And this seemed so much easier than before.
Oh yeah.
So this is a definite, those are all green flags. So good job, MJ. And then we got our boy. Did you end up watching this video, Chase, in the group chat?
Oh no. So this is
No.
Mick, right?
Yeah, everybody. This is Mick Soleimani, the Iranian sheik.
Man, look at him using straps.
He's strapping, dude. He's I think he wants. I think it's a finger fatigue thing. I'm not sure, but I feel like for all of his musicality things, he needs
He
to be.
can't. Yeah, he can't
He's
damage
like
your
a
prized
surgeon,
possessions.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Johnny G, will a belt help me with my PRs? It certainly will, but good programming would help you way more than any belt ever will,
Yes.
John. You could get 3 belts, and it wouldn't help that much. Oh, so this is in Amsterdam. This is an Amsterdamania.
This is a badass place to lift at,
Look at
man. It
this.
looks like a
Look
bar.
at these lights. We got a bar. We have plants.
Yeah, like you could get a martini as you're deadlifting. This is cool
This
as
is
fuck.
amazing. A little bit on the heels.
Hmm. I think what Mick here is doing is this: he's stopping the push about halfway through, and he's just kind of leveraging up
Cranking
with
it
his
up.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mick, you're gonna have to think of this as just you're constantly pushing. You're trying to like squash a bug underneath your feet, and then you just stand up at the very end.
Yeah, I told him he was kind of trying to like pop through the lockout a little bit too
Yeah.
much. So we just want, like knees over your feet, your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your hips, everything in a
Hmm.
straight line, and then just kind of squeeze your pecs up a little bit. All we're
Hmm.
looking for is a little bit more thoracic extension. Nothing
Yep.
much in terms of like a hip pop. Um, for some reason in fitness culture, I think there was kind of this I think maybe like 2010, 2014, 15 period, everyone was saying like explode through your deadlift. And the word explode was tied within with like every deadlift
Yeah.
ever for some reason. It was like you
Well, think
got to
like
explode through the finish. Do you remember that, Chase?
I think the big components of that was like Eric Lillenbridge and guys
Was
like
that
that
him?
who are just they're pulling a fuck ton of weight. Like, have you ever
Yeah.
seen Eric Lillenbridge warm up? It's He's
Yeah.
basically cleaning his deadlifts, but he's
Yes.
stopping the rack. It's fucking stupid, but he's so violent, and it works for him. That's great and stuff, but it's not going to work for Mick here.
Yeah, I'll see a lot of people try to replicate those, because what he's talking about really here is it's called maximum concentric intent, which that is the layman's word, or the simple, like, true version of that is just pull it fast as you can. Fast as fast can is what I'll tell a lot of my lifters. As fast as you can responsibly, really. When you're a really technically proficient lifter and you're strong as shit, you can pull a 405 and it can float out of your fingertips, and 500 will float, and so on and so forth. But you'll have people who are still kind of in their growing phases trying to apply that maximum concentric intent, and then it'll kind of create these little technical errors, so you don't need to pop anything at the top of the pole, but otherwise these are really solid. Jim's very cool. Okay, here we go. Just started using the Strength Club app today, 4-day split. Interesting. Yeah. So the big thing that you're going to be looking for here, John, is figuring out volume ranges that you can use that are not going to crush you. Because a lot of the deadlifts and squats that you've sent us in, pardon me, I have to cough. None of them have ever been in an easy or normal range of workload that we would typically see a lifter do for their, let's say, their volume work or most of their productive work. All of the videos that you send us in, John, are like death struggles, no matter what it is. So that is not a good way to comprise most of your training. You're going to have to figure out ways to kind of select your loads, select the difficulty that you'll be doing, kind of volume ranges, so that it can be more productive rather than just like tearing your hamstring all the time. I think there was like a 3-month period where you would send in a video like every month, it'd be like, I tore my hamstring again. Hamstring's bruised.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for videos. Let's check out this PR one here. I'll pull that up for you, Chase. Let's try. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there, team. Can you see this, Chase?
So 3.5 months of starting strength from weak to slightly less weak.
Is that better?
Now, yes, but shift over. Yeah, it's perfect right there.
Ooh, hell yeah. Okay. So by Serve Society, 3.5 months of starting strength from weak to slightly less weak. I don't like when people do this sort of self-deprecating thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like, dude, you fucking have gotten stronger. Like,
yeah, you're doing good.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 months. It takes a long time. Okay. So 28, 5'10". He is exactly, he is my height and age. He went from 153 to 179. Squat went from 132. Interesting that it was 130. Okay, he probably converted from kilos. That's why it's
60 kilos to like what? The fuck is that? Like
120?
120? Yeah.
125.
So doubled it.
So he went from 154 to 286 on his deadlift, 132 to 184 on his bench. Press was a little slow, 88 to 118. Power clean. He said he got very sick after 3.5 months, but he's been getting back to it. He recorded the first set of every lift for form checks, and he put it all together in a video. And then that video is here. Let's see. Is this visible, Chase?
Yeah, he's a skinny old boy.
Yeah, he's putting a lot of fun, nice pop music in on this. And also, this is very clearly a bedroom right there. So he's bringing a lady home, and he's like, "You're gonna look at the squat rack."
Fuck, dude, this is cool. Watch me.
He's right here.
Yeah,
he's like, "Hold on."
Before he goes to bed, he grabs a quick pump.
Yeah, getting a pump on. All right, so just for reference, everybody, this is the 30th month of the year on the 12th day, because Europe is stupid. We're gonna watch kind of we'll try to go like first, middle, end on this. It's not bad for first workout form, frankly.
It's not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah.
He's a long torsoed guy.
It's wobbly, but understandably wobbly. Yeah, putting your gym in your loft bedroom, pretty sick move,
cool, dude.
Pretty sick move. So he's starting 60 kilos on the bench. That's not a lot of bench progress. I mean, that's fine progress for 3.5 months. I think he took a little bit too conservative jumps on the bench, if I had to bet.
Maybe. I think he may have just started out a little bit more advanced in the bench, and he just probably needed to change up his programming a little bit.
Here we go. It's pretty set back.
So
Okay.
his deadlift looks a little bit off, man. I think he's kind of just yanking back his knees a little bit.
hmm
Um,
The
kind of
pathing on
like
this one, not great.
yeah. So it's kind of like the opposite of what Mick was doing, where he's staying like way too over the bar and not opening up enough too.
Okay,
So
here's a good squat angle. Oh, he has some squatting shoes. First one was in socks.
oh
So we're in
sweet,
squatting shoes now. This may be carpet, though. I'm not sure. Man, what a skinny guy.
he is.
Yeah, so whenever you know someone is very skinny, whenever you're looking at them at the bottom of the squat and nothing really looks bunched up, they're
Yep.
not muscular, nor are they fat.
Yep.
Okay, all right, so we're going to jump ahead in time. Let's go right here. Okay, a month
Ooh, we
has
got
been
some
passed. He
cleans.
just did some cleans in here. He's at 100 kilos now. He got a haircut. He looks taller for some reason. Squats deeper. That's nice.
Hmm.
It's a big mouth brace. He's getting there. Oh, this is 2 months later. Excuse me.
He looks a little bit thicker up top too.
hmm
Could be.
His neck is getting thicker as well.
Yeah.
Everybody, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Doing Hard Things. 3 subscribers. We're gonna ding that subscribe. I have to sign in. Fuck. Never mind. Oh, he's pressing outside at night. Another very cool move. We didn't see a press. Let's see if we can see a. We got a bench coming up here. We'll see how the bench progress is doing. So we're 2 months in. Do you think this is pretty standard for about 2 months?
Yeah, I would say so. But for like a guy like this, he's still fairly young. Still has a lot of room to grow in terms of like putting on muscle on his frame and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would just be on his ass constantly about eating, and then we probably could have um, progressed a little bit faster in terms of like taking 10-pound jumps on the
Yeah.
squat and the deadlift.
Yeah. So it seems like he said he gained. Let's see what he gained. Okay, so he went from 153 to 170, 26 pounds. 26 pounds across 3.5 months. That's pretty solid. You just got to keep that pacing up. All right, and then we'll
Yeah.
kind of zoom into the end. He's starting to wear shorts here, so that's how we know he's an advanced lifter. Bam. Now we're at 117. We're almost at the finish line. Yeah, lower body definitely has gained some thickness.
Yes, it has.
Absolutely. His trunk looks like it has a little more muscle on it as well. Upper body's looking solid. Yeah, just now keep doing this for the next 10 years.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. How are you liking these squats now? Okay, so he's basically 3.5 months in of self-taught lifting. What do you think, Chase?
I think he's shooting back a little bit too much. He needs to get his knees a little bit more forward. Stance, narrow it up.
Yeah, he's trying to push the knees out a little bit too much. We're seeing the rolling on the outside of the feet, and he's getting on the heels.
Mm-hmm.
Stay more towards the forefoot. Don't worry so much about the knees going out. Yeah. Pretty solid. Kind of good physique change here.
Mm-hmm.
Very solid progress on the physique changes. I wonder what he's been doing for chin-ups. He did not note anything on chin-ups on this, and I can't help but think he did not do very many of them because I
I
haven't
don't
seen
think he
much
did.
improvement in kind of his arms and back.
I don't know where the fuck you can do chin-ups at. Like maybe that little archway.
Where the fuck does this guy live?
Dude, he is like in the Swedish Alps or some shit. I don't know.
Who has a wrought iron gate and a brick and a decorative brick arch with this house? What is
This
going on
man
here?
is, yeah, I don't know.
Nice. What a stud. Chase, how do you feel about the convention of going day, month, year in terms of dating versus month, day, year?
Well, I'm just, American, so we've done things right since the dawn of time, and it's always going to be the month and then the day.
Okay. Do you feel like do you think you can make a rational case for it being month, day, year?
Um, I think so. So, I mean, determining on, I think of it like this, because I'm weird the way I think. So, if I hear the month, I always think back to like the season. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
the 8th. Okay, so we got the August, so it's the tail end of summer. What day in summer? So now I kind of like go off of like, okay, weather's starting to change based on the date. But if I just hear like a random number, it's like 28. Well, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
It could be the 28th of January. It could be the 28th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just
it's
kind of
it's
weird.
just a superior system. I think the measurements of inch, foot, yard, excellent. Same thing with Fahrenheit. Same thing with the dating system. It's like no one's like, what day did this important thing happen? Oh, he had an
Mhm.
in-person session with a starting strength coach. How wonderful.
Who's the coach?
I don't know, but he's getting into it. Is
Is
that Byron? Is he a UK
Maybe
guy?
Byron.
It's probably Byron. Our boy B.
Yeah.
But yes, the month, day, year system makes so much more sense, because if you're talking
Mhm.
to someone in practical terms about when something happened, they're like, "Oh, when'd you get your dog?" And you're like, "January." You're not like
Yeah.
the 18th
What
of
what the
January.
fuck is the 18th? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So like the more important metric, or the most relevant unit, I think, is the month, because we know what the year is and we know the date isn't, or the day
Yeah.
isn't super relevant. So the month makes way more sense.
Or even like
Um,
we list it in like in terms of holidays. Oh, I got sick around Christmas.
yeah.
When the
Yeah.
fuck
We
is
use
Christmas? It's always the 12th.
the 25th.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's the December,
Uh,
but yeah, it's the 25th.
yeah. Yeah. The units, I think the imperial, or for me, the metric snobbery on their systems. Truly, I despise it.
Oh
America
yeah.
#1. All right, bench is going well. I think Homeboy just did not do his chin ups. I think this is what we're seeing.
I don't think he can. I don't know where
He
the fuck
has
he's
to
doing
do. He could have figured something out with that arch. He
it.
has
Gonna
some
hang
sort
from
of
his doorway there.
structure. Yeah, he has all this beautiful architecture around him. I'm sure he can figure something out. He has trees. He can take a tree branch going on.
Yeah.
He's doing hook grip. How are you feeling about his deadlifts?
Not bad. I think the belt may be a little bit annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
I think it
really.
looks a little bit high.
Yes, he's not really setting his back enough. So
Yeah.
one, it may be too tight. Two, it just may be in the wrong position. But I think just ditch the belt for a little bit. Learn to
Mm-hmm.
really set the back. Maybe click in the heels a little bit, kind of narrow the stance, and that'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Really like these overall. Yeah, this was pretty cool. This is pretty.
Yeah,
I
this is
don't.
solid.
Yeah, we hate to say typical progress, because typical progress always is like, what the hell does that mean?
Hmm.
But yes, so within the scheme of progress that you can expect over like 4 months, that's super reasonable. Super
Yep.
reasonable progress. What we saw. He was
And,
banished
and
to the attic.
and what's cool is
Confirmed.
like that kid looks completely different. Like he looks way more. I wouldn't say intimidating to someone like
He
me,
looks
but
like an adult now.
yeah, he looks like a reasonable fucking male instead of
Hmm.
some weird scangly creature that crawls out of the fucking he just crawls out of the attic type thing. No,
Truly, we
he looks
despise the European.
good.
Yes. Mhm. I just got a picture, or a sticker on my laptop, and it's a picture of an anime girl holding a Colt 1911, and it says
Nice.
"Shut the fuck up, European," because I dislike all my European clients are great except them. Everybody else. All right, what did Johnny G say here? Um, let's see. So volume can drive strength when heavy doesn't work anymore. I've been doing heavy singles, but maybe I should lighten up and do volume. Absolutely yes. 100% yes. You need to think about how much total training you're doing across the week. So, like, if in the LP you're doing 15 squat sets, or excuse me, 9 squat sets a week, right? You're doing 15 reps in the day, 9 squat sets a week. If you go down to doing like 2 or 3 working squat sets a week because you're just trying to do heavy singles, and those heavy singles fuck you up for the whole time, you've cut your training volume by 2/3. Or maybe if you cut it by half, if you do like 3 heavy squat sets and 2 heavy squat sets, you've effectively halved your training volume. Volumes need to stay at a reasonable area. If you are just going for like heavy singles and heavy triples, and that's literally all you're doing,
Hmm.
and it's as grindy as you are, you're probably just not training enough, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other things you would want to add on that, Chase?
No, I mean, granted, like if you went to the other extreme, Johnny, so like you went to the intensity extreme. Now, if we were to consider like the volume extreme, because we've all heard like Rip talk about volume is bad for older people. Like it is
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're doing like a 6x5 or like a 5x5,
Yeah.
shit like that. That beat the fuck out of you. But what you're doing now, let's say like you start with like a top triple or a top double, and then you do some back off work with like 2 sets of 5 at a reasonable percentage. That's enough volume. That's enough intensity to help drive the stress.
Yeah, there's like a spectrum of relevancy for your
Hmm.
goal. If your goal is to do a really heavy set of like 20 practicing singles, probably not super helpful. If you're
Hmm.
trying to do heavy singles, sets of 20, probably not super helpful. There's a spectrum of how relevant the weight is. So let's say there's a spectrum of weights that can be relevant. So if you're trying to get your top end strength up, any load south of like 75% is probably a little bit too light. unless you're doing a shit ton of work. Okay. So you probably want to keep the load in that towards that like 80-ish% in the 85-ish% area, and then just accumulate a lot of volume and the ability to handle that over time. If you go from doing 4 squat sets a week to trying to do 16 squat sets a week, you're going to be in for a bad time. You need to slowly acclimate yourself to that volume. Another question here from KH. What does KH stand for, dude? Any thoughts on Paul Horm's programming in his book? Have you checked out the book?
The last time I was in Wichita Falls, I think there's a copy on the one of the tables in the gym, and I just skimmed through it. I didn't really like sit down and read it and have a good scotch with it type thing. But I think
Do you drink scotch, Chase?
no, I hardly even drink alcohol.
It's gross. It tastes bad.
No, I mean I like it. It's just I don't know. Like I just don't have the need for it right now because I always feel like I get fucked up afterwards.
What
even
is
if
your
I have, like, a
beverage? What
normal
is your
amount.
beverage of choice then? If you need a nighttime relaxing beverage, is it a Capri Sun? Are you Sunny D? You doing Diet Coke? Milkies?
Milk. I'm kind of a milk guy. Either that or really nice cold water. I like that.
Okay, there it is, everybody.
Yep,
Straight
that's it.
from the camel's mouth, the horse's mouth. Okay, and then so you skim this with a cold glass
Yeah.
of milk.
So I think like what the general purpose is like it's kind of like I wouldn't say it's another diet book, but it's kind of like along those lines of like, look, you need to change certain behavioral habits. You need to think about the way you eat, the way you train. Let's talk about what you're doing in your daily life, affect those, and then you're going to see some progress type thing. His program, I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically just the novice linear program.
Yes. So I read the flavor text on some of his posts, and they were like, I think it was something along the lines of think the starting strength LP programming, but with lots of curls and arm work. And it's like, hey,
Yeah.
I have no problem with that at all. If you are like a programming nerd or fetishist like myself, and you are working with advanced lifters or people who are doing sports or people who are already athletic and in shape, that book is probably not a good resource for you. If you are working with people, or if you yourself are someone who's like, I've kind of tried around lifting, a little frumpy. I feel like my arms are too small. I need to figure out how, to kind of help the physique along, and I want everything consolidated to one resource. I think that's what the book is trying to do, but I don't know because I haven't read it. So,
Yeah.
Yes, I think the shortest solution, the book may just say take a bunch of steroids and add in 3 slots of arm work a week. It may just say that. If it does, that's probably that's the shortest answer you'll get. Here we go. Why KH? What does KH stand for, dude? His novice program did ditch the 3 sets of 5 for ascending 5. So working into a top set of 5. So he's probably adding a little bit more volume, and he's just putting in a top set. That's basically what that is. That's nothing too crazy there. If you could change the Chase, this is it's just an aside. If you had to change something about the novice program, not as a mass application, but something that you typically do, what would that be, if anything?
I don't really put in as much chin-ups as I should, so I probably would just omit that. But everything else, like I still program because I mean, fuck, like I'm dealing with people who kind of fit the realm of they want to just get generally stronger. I'm not again working with big time athletes or anything like that, so I'm not really trying to gear them for performance or anything like that. It's just again generally stronger, and I need a program that gets them generally stronger, and that's the novice linear program.
Yeah, it seems like Chase is almost trying to run like the lowest fatigue version you can get away with.
Yep, because I can't have Doris come in and she's all fucking hurt from the day previous from squatting to where the bottom line is I'm trying to make money from the barbell lifts, right? I'm not trying to like sell out or anything like that. And I love what I do and I love helping people, but at the same time I still need to eat. How to best do that is not injuring people, not fucking people up from a bunch of stress day one, and then just gradually titrate the lifts up to where they feel comfortable, and I'm kind of just babying along people, and then some people are they need that. Some people are good to just kind of let loose, and we can just add a lot of volume, a lot of stress, a lot of
Hmm.
intensity at the start. That's fine. But again, I'm working with this kind of a more of just a detrained population to where ascending sets probably isn't going to work for them.
Yeah, we're looking for. It seems like Chase is trying to look for like easy, low-hanging fruit that
Yes.
has it with a very conservative risk profile. Because when you're making KH, so you're thinking about getting this book, you're trying to make programming decisions for yourself. And this is interesting in the world of online discourse, especially with fitness. If you were to tell one of like a normal client who's not saturated in the fitness social media space, and you're like, okay, you could have one program where in 4 months you'll end up at 245 on your squat, but you may tweak your back one or two times along the way, and your knees will be achy. And then another version, another hypothetical pill they could take where they'll end up at 215 and they won't have any aches or pains. 99% of people are going to take the aches and pains one.
Yep.
Right. And you could probably sub that out for like, nose
For the
bleeding.
no aches or pains, you said they
Exactly.
would take. Yeah.
They would take that one. You could probably sub that out for like another version of there's no 10 out of 10 true like kill yourself effort. It's like you won't get any nosebleeds, you won't crack any of your teeth from trying hard. People are generally going to take the easier one because the amount of progress they'll still be getting is astronomically higher than what they were doing before.
Yeah.
Um, so when you're searching for programming optimality, even for yourself, you gotta consider that. Yeah, on my end, I end up almost programming like too many cleans, too much arm work. You know,
Hmm.
people are just like, God, like I want to, I want to do other things more. It's like, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you're
Uh,
dealing with a specific population to where
yeah.
they're okay with beating the fuck out of themselves day in day
Hmm.
out. Like I'm that type of guy too. Like I almost need to have someone else kind of look at my program because there's several times where I've run myself into the ground, and I need to kind of just make sure I'm not doing that. But again, if you have a specific population that is used to and is used to being competitive and stuff like that, you kind of have to tailor with part of their goal and their mindset of just like, look, we're going to be pushing shit. We're going to do this smartly, but at the same time, we're going to start pushing shit and we're going to get the best that we possibly can.
Yeah, it's a big kind of efficiency thing, a big, cost benefit, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
But you have a lot of wiggle room. I think if you are a novice, um, the differences in terms of like outcome from like starting strength versus a reskin starting strength, they're probably going to be super duper similar. Whereas more time investing learning about intermediate or advanced programming is probably going to help you out in the long run.
Mhm.
Um, all right, high tech Texan. Nice, good for him. He's wants to do SS while decreasing his body fat. He's 5'8", so he is a short king. Maybe he's 205
Mhm.
pounds. He's around 30% body fat. 28, he said. I'm eating 2,200 calories a day, 248 grams of protein. That's really high.
Mm.
Um, Feeling stronger, but not changing much on weight. He's trying to play tennis and do cycling. Is he doing the right thing? How would you? Well, so do you get a lot of people who are looking to lose weight when they come into the gym, Chase?
Oh, like probably
Virtually everyone, right?
yeah, like 75 to like 90% of them.
Yeah, they're just like, I feel too fat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
what's generally the guidance that you give them
So
off the
the
cuff?
people that generally ask that question is they're one that yeah they may be a little bit heavy set, or like it may be a woman who's not heavy set. It's really they just want to have more muscle, or like whether it's be I want to be more tone, I want to be I want to fill out a little bit more. Like all that
Hmm.
shit kind of ties back to I want to have more muscle mass than I do fat. So what you need to do at the start is not worry about the dieting part because that's super easy. Like that shit, like yeah, dieting is hard, but in terms of like time spent doing it, all the
Hmm.
resources available, like that shit's easy. Getting stronger, putting on muscle mass, affecting bone density, all the structural changes that we're trying to ask you to do, that shit's hard.
Hmm.
But while you're doing it, I think you can kind of skew it a little bit. I think you can just watch what you're doing with your macros. I wouldn't affect anything that you're doing with your protein, but just you having this new added stress of lifting is going to affect your body composition
Hmm.
than just being, normally doing whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah, so he's about a month into the program. And then John Carr said, "You were not overweight, you were under muscled." And then someone said, "With all due respect, 28% body fat is without a doubt overweight." So absolutely destroyed High Tech Texan. Um, yeah, if you're in his situation, 5'8", 205, do you think he's actually 30% body fat at 205 at 5'8"?
I don't know. Like this is where I can't really. I would love to see a picture of the dude, like no homo, but we kind of need to see him in person because like he just
Let's
made me.
check. Let's check the profile.
He just
Okay, here
made.
we go.
Oh, is this him?
Oh, we already looked at him. He
Oh
sent a
fuck.
video into the show. Okay, so he's not at 28% body fat.
No, fuck no,
No,
he's not.
absolutely not. Um, right.
This dude's just
Okay.
generally just a bigger dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good, buddy. You're
Yeah,
not at
he's fucking
28%
fine.
body fat, nor do
No,
you need to think about getting shredded. You're not.
no.
Um, okay, so this is a communication issue. So Texan or whatever your name was on the app that you sent it the thing in for, you were not at 28% body fat. 5'8", 205. You have a bigger frame. You're just a bigger guy overall. Totally fine. I wouldn't worry about going into a sharp deficit right now. If I were you, I would think I would probably pull the protein down to like 220.
Yeah,
250's overkill. Pull the fat down a little bit, get more carbs. I have like 3 bags of gummy worms on my desk right now. I would rather my athletes get way more carbs than they do fat. They just feel better in
yeah,
the gym 9 out of 10 times in my experience. Up the carbs, pull the fat down, pull the protein down slightly, and then just keep lifting. He's only a month in. Yeah.
yeah. So I,
Hmm.
I think I've heard Phoebe talk about this, and I kind of want to get your take on this, Alex. So she kind of tells people to adjust your program to the weight that you kind of desire. Meaning, if I want to gain, like another 20 pounds, I need to be eating like 275 grams of protein. If I want to now decrease down to like 225, basically eating my imaginary body weight at that point in
Hmm.
grams per, yeah,
Yeah.
grams of protein
So
per body weight.
so eating at your target body weight is a pretty well accepted principle. Um,
Hmm.
what you're functionally aiming for is like, if you are trying to get it doesn't work so much in severe cases, for example. So if you are trying, let's say if you're 250 pounds and you want to be 160 pounds, if you eat as if you're 160 pounds, the the rate of loss will be very high. But the chances that you'll be able to stick to it are relatively slim. If you are 150 pounds and you're, let's say you're a 20-year-old guy and you want to be 225 pounds and jacked, if you eat like him, you're just going to get fat as fuck. Right.
Yeah.
So it works within a smaller scale. So if you're 10 pounds, if you want to be 10 pounds lighter, 10 pounds heavier, aim in those directions. It doesn't work in terms of big swings. Um, but on the internet, generally everybody's eyes are bigger than their mouths. Their
Hmm.
brain is going to be bigger than their reality. So sometimes that can be problematic. Because do you remember that one post? It was a few months ago. The guy who was like added 90 pounds to my body weight
Oh
and my
yeah,
deadlift.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that guy, he's eating like he's a full-time athlete. He's doing 2 practices a day and he's lifting in the middle of it. He's eating like that. And he was doing what, 7 sets of work in a workout three
yeah.
times a week.
It
And
was
he was exactly, yeah. So there are definitely some extremes that you want to avoid. Anything's been going on your Instagram, Chase? Have you posted anything there recently?
no, not recently. I need
Let me
to.
see. See Lindley. You didn't post anything for your birthday?
No,
You didn't do a birthday post for yourself congratulating?
fuck no. I'm not that egotistical, man.
uh,
That
okay,
narcissistic.
here we go. Some training. Okay, a week ago you posted something.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I did.
Hey, there it is. Of course. Now it comes out. Now that you don't want to tell me. All right, we got to pull this up, team. What are we looking at here, Chase?
Some power cleans at 140 with a jerk. There was some other shit that I did. Kind of just a hog mosh of all my training.
What does that mean?
Just a bunch of shit.
Yeah, but like, where did that come from? What does that actually
I don't
mean?
know. I don't know what.
Is that I know it's not a local term. I've heard it before, and I don't live in the American South.
Dude, I don't know. Look it up.
All right, we'll look up Hogmosh. Hogmosh. Oh, it's hogwash. Okay, so
Hogwash.
hogwash is kitchen slop that is fed to pigs, or the refuse of a kitchen or brewery, is what it
Okay.
is. So it is a
So
term
it's
from the 1700s.
hogwash.
Yes. So now you know, Chase. There you go, buddy.
Well, cool. The more
Mm-hmm.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
Also, what I've been trying to do lately too is just train without knee wraps because
Ooh,
I
okay.
got fucking
How's the
tired of
knee
it.
tendonitis feeling?
It's like dick, it hurts like shit. But it's gotten manageable, right?
Okay.
I can push through some stuff. Like today, I'm still I wrap every now and then. I'm trying to do a little bit more pause work, kind of just getting comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
basically the area where my knee hurts the most. I'm just loading that and just getting a bunch of blood into it. So with like pause squats, pause front squats, um, basically doing a bunch more squats and stuff like that too.
How much squatting volume are you doing a week?
So I'm doing roughly about 2 sessions of overhead squat, two
Mm-hmm.
sessions of front squats, and then one session of back squat. So about 5 blocks of
Okay.
squatting.
Okay. And you're doing high bar squats, or you back to low bar for your
No,
primary?
I've always
Still
done
low bar?
low bar. Yeah.
Okay. How are these feeling?
They were not bad, man. I like doing overhead squats.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate having to deal with like just getting it into position. I wish
Right.
we kind of could invent some shit with like the rack to kind of help
You could get an
elevate it.
incredibly. You could get that. You've seen Jujimufu's like incredibly tall squat rack or monster rack. Have you seen that?
Uh,
It's just like it is a strong man who's 6'7" could like log press in it. Basically, it's incredibly
Jesus
tall. You
Christ.
could put some monoliths in that, Chase, and then
Yeah.
you could just get under it and then
Yeah.
monolift it out. Any plans for training? Because you've recently competed. How many weeks ago was your competition?
My
11
last one
weeks
actually.
ago.
No, so I did one in Houston. Did I
Right.
tell you about that?
You did. You
That
never
was
posted footage from it. You never sent me
because it
the
was dog
footage.
shit. It was dog shit.
Come on.
Uh,
Were you?
it was dog
No.
shit.
How dog shit was it? Did you
It
get
was
kicked out for being
no. I
fat
fucking
and
wish.
gay?
No, no. Um, what happened was he- I went with another coach after the Hunger in the Wild meet there. So
Yes.
we tried working on some stuff, and it just turns out like I kind of got a little bit weaker. We never really did anything heavy. We did a bunch of volume work. So technique wise, it felt solid. It
Mm-hmm.
seemed like everything was doing good, but it just turned out come meet day, it was shit. So
It just wasn't there.
our game plan was like trying to hit a qualifying total for like a national meet. So that would put me at, let's say, 140 and 180. Did I hit anywhere close to those numbers in training? Fuck no. Not
What was the
anywhere close.
closest you hit to it? 120.
For my snatch 130
Mm-hmm.
and for the clean 170. Now, you may think like 10 kilograms is close.
Close.
No, it's
Not close with this. Yeah.
not in terms of Olympic weightlifting. So,
Mm-hmm.
I went out there. I was able to place, attempts on everything, but like I went basically 1 and 3 on both the snatch and the clean and jerk, and I posted like a shitty total. Like I only snatched like 130, and that was like on my final attempt. It's almost bombed out.
Mm-hmm.
Clean and jerked 60, but gosh, damn, it was fucking rough.
Right.
So just kind of going back to the drawing board, kind of getting back to fixing a little bit of my knee tendonitis and getting back into strength, so that way I can kind of push the numbers, and then at the same time, um, trying to get back into the groove of getting a lot of heavier reps underneath
That's
me.
the interesting thing about peaking and tapering, is that you'll meet some people where they'll have like 3 good days a year and they really won't plan them. Other people will have virtually no peaks, and then their performance on like on a competition day or a meet day will just be their average day. So like especially with Olympic lifting, that's a rough place to be in, because it's like, oh, it's only 10 kilos off. If we kind of let fatigue fall off, you should feel stronger on the day. But
Hmm.
it's so technique dependent. It's like you almost want to be able to hit it squarely in the middle of a training block if you want to
Yeah,
be able to hit it in competition.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So
But
what do you think you're going to do next time that's going to be different?
just go at it with the different mindset of like, look, this shit needs to be heavy.
Right.
So I got basically a program currently that's about a 2 week kind of overview of 1 week is kind of more of barbell strength. So, I'm pushing like
Hmm.
the squat, I'm pushing like the deadlift, the bench, all that stuff. And then working on just like the fundamental shit of like doing some pause work, doing some hang work, getting into the rhythm of making sure that my technique is good. And then flip flop that around the next week where I'm pushing, like trying to max out on my powers, trying to max out on both like the full squat, the full
Hmm.
snatch, full clean, stuff like that, and then drawing back on the intensity of the barbell lifts.
Right. So so he's on a 2-week microcycle
Yeah,
that's going to encompass. He's probably going to run through that cycle 6 to 8 times for the
try
whole
to.
training block.
Yeah.
Um, and then that's going to compose the whole thing. Yeah. So that
Hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. Basically, you're just the game you're now playing to see if this works is that kind of a week of doing more strength focused work. Is that going to be are you going to run into detraining on the faster speed work?
Yeah.
Um, that'll be an interesting problem. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
What's your next plan or prospects for meets?
I want to try to hit a meet. There's one in Austin, April Fools, so it'd be April 1st.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Nice. That'll be an exciting meet. Is that
Yeah,
far
it'll be
for you?
fun. Um, in terms of like
Austin?
location,
Yeah, I don't know
um,
where those.
nah, it's probably about, let's say like 7 hours or so, like from
Fuck.
OKC,
Okay.
7 or 6.
Cool. Everybody, stay tuned. That'll be the next episode, April 1st. We're
Hell
taking
yeah.
we're taking a 3 month
Yeah,
hiatus. Um. Okay. Great. G Lock. What's the point of getting a dog if he's not going to be on the stream? My wife is
that's a
asking.
very good question.
My wife's son told me that he can't be on the stream. My cuck child. No, so he can't get too excited because if he gets too excited, he could, perforate his bowels, terrible intestinal problem that he has. So we're keeping it very chill for the dog.
Mm.
He has like state mandated nap time. He's out for like we're just playing with him very gently for like 30, 45 minutes, and then it's like going back to bed. Sucks to suck.
Damn.
It'd only be like another. They said keep him. They were like, don't run with him. Don't, because I told him before. I was like, yeah, he was sprinting around. I've been like running 40s with the dog. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Um, I got a runner's leash, so I put it around my waist, and it like extends out. Basically, it's like the
Hmm.
extendable leash, but it attaches in like a holster. Hook it up to like a PT belt, basically.
Yeah.
So I can like full on sprint with the dog. He's not as
That's
fast
cool.
as me yet. He'll be faster than me, I think. In
Pretty
full
soon.
adult form. Yeah, in a few more months. But it's pretty nice to fucking go for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, people are like looking at me weirdly in the park. They're like, "What the fuck is that
Why?
guy
Why are you
doing?"
dragging your dog, dude? What the fuck?
Like he's gonna die. But yeah, so he has to lay low for like another 4 or 5 days, and then he'll be able to start moving around again. But that's it. Thank you everybody for watching. We will see you next week.